lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as... Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you. All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform an... I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune to its power.
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the...
Of course. I still have patience to see, so...
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to... Just give it time.
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible...
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss and...
Mualani told us a little bit about...
500 years ago. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters, and still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss... The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley line. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely... But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from... If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save...
So that's what... After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me... Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, but there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon... Huh? But that doesn't make any sense!
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been... A god can extend a human's life by using a... But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. Only by dying before my time could I have the...
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because if the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like...
So that means...
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from after your adventure in the Night Kingdom.
So in other words, you always knew...
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel... Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night King.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. So, I've tried my best to help them from the Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final two heroes.
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only. I can only trust in the judgment. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual. You're quite perceptive, aren't you?
Huh? Oh, right! All this.
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk. And Mualani has an important. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose.
Fuel?
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited. But by burning those items, I was able to activate the contending. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was.
But weren't they all precious treasures? That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, and then it would only be a matter of time before the. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, if they knew those items helped save the present day here.
Even when you put it that.
There's no need. The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the item.
Well, we'd still.
Well, if that's now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory and we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus,
Still.
try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. All right. You should head out.
When I was young, I used to sit by the. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring. It's been really nice seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of this. I've witnessed their energy, their determination. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that my rage will never know absolution. But you came to me because you knew you could convince. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers. We will do everything we can to rebuild even across time. We will all...
Yeah, Mom's right. No, seriously though, Dad should be...
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take... Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone. The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight.
Who will be the one?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny. That is Natlan's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. It's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back.
Ah, well, you two.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information.
That's good.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's...
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid. But anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
What? Do you really have to go that far?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to... Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing? In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done. Thank you, everyone.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your...
I had no choice. My friend invited...
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina would...
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure,
I'm really sorry, Kachina.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden.
So,
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late.
Serves you...
all right. There's no need, dear friend, firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great arc. This traveler and his companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, and let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the traveler and Paimon figure out a way to bring me. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So...
Well said!
I'll drink to that. How does it feel? To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion. Hey, please.
Ah, you're here.
How did you know? That's my...
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had the thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time. For you could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short. And beyond a point, imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still, or, of course, without me. But since I was the one—
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who from what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree. She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe. Still, it was an impressive achievement, and you feel loss keenly. It seems this is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything...
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason, and it's precisely because we humans... This is a pivotal moment. We are, well, 3, to be precise. There's one further hero. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will all—
Ancient names can be...
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them— Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still. Take this as my personal— Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation— Oh,
Yeah, we can't just ignore this...
wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. You don't have much time, and...
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?